the comments of the Nigerian High Commissioner, and you've heard his comments on what happened and what actually transpired. He has denied vehemently that the Nigerian killed in India was not involved in drug. But why not send your comments? We'd like to have your comments on Network Africa at channelstv.com. And here's the Twitter handle on your screen. Now, attacks on Nigerians abroad is now becoming more frequent, while the Nigerian government has frequently appealed to Nigerians abroad to be of good conduct. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth that the Nigerian government gives so much outpour of generosity in terms of peace support and also its technical aid scheme to Africa, Pacifics, and the Caribbeans. Now, does Nigeria need to redefine its foreign policy thrust in terms of its ties to other countries? Now, in our mission to set the record straight, Network Africa goes one-on-one with the Chairperson House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Honorable Unenda Okeji. Join us in this dialogue. You're welcome on this edition of Network Africa.
Thank you very much.
Now, let's quickly go into the specifics of the story now. Recently, Nigerian citizens have come under severe attacks abroad. And it raises the question, do we have enough enabling laws to protect Nigerian citizens abroad?
Well, of course, the grand norm, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is very clear that the security of lives and property of Nigeria is guaranteed under the Constitution. And of course, we all know that any law that is not in conformity with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to that extent, that law is null and void. Of course, I don't think that there needs be any other law, because that would amount to over legislation. But what that law does is that it is the security of lives and property of Nigerians are guaranteed within Nigeria. But then we also have the missions abroad that carry the mandate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And they are charged with the responsibility of ensuring that Nigerians around the world do not come to danger. And when they do come into any kind of danger, there are set rules and responsibilities that the missions have towards the citizens of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Let's refer to the killing of a Nigerian in Guinea-Bissau that happened recently. Have you been able to get to the bottom of this investigation?
Well, the responsibility of Nigerians and the missions to Nigerian citizens are, I mean, they're quite a number. For instance, you know, the Nigerian embassy would be charged with the responsibility, say, for instance, of giving a Nigerian, reissuing a Nigerian passport in the event that his passport was lost. Should a Nigerian need medical attention, they would have the responsibility of ensuring that they get medical attention. But let me also say that at this point in time that it is very important for us to realize that we do not have the powers to investigate or to bring to book, as it were, crimes in other countries. So, of course, what we do is ensure that that happens. And so the Nigerian embassy is a little handicapped. But with what happened in Guinea-Bissau, I mean, it was such a terrible thing, and so much so, and we could see the remorse of the government of Guinea-Bissau, so much so that they came out and they apologized to the government of Nigeria, and they showed a commitment to ensuring that they came to some resolution in the matters. I understand that 4 people have already been arrested because of this, but of course, everywhere in the world, the wheels of justice cog very, very slowly. And we're watching that space very closely, and we're hoping that they come to some kind of resolution. As I said earlier on, the people have been arrested. Unfortunately, Nigeria's hands are tied with regards to interference with their judicial processes, but they have charged this matter to court. I understand the arrests have been made, and we're watching that space very closely, and we hope that there should be some kind of resolution to that very unfortunate incident very quickly.
Have you spoken with Ambassador Megida Adams, the Nigeria's ambassador to Guinea-Bissau, to find out his own version of this story?
Well, yes, we spoke with him. And his own angle, of course, was there was a misunderstanding. They had accused a Nigerian of kidnap, and before you knew what happened, it had snowballed into a mob attack. Of course, they did what they had to do as the Nigerian embassy. But let me also state at this point in time that because the investigation is ongoing, both from the Nigerian side and from the government of Guinea-Bissau, who have shown a serious commitment to working with the Nigerian embassy to ensuring that they're brought to book, I think that we should await the outcome of that investigation so that it's not preemptive.
Now, going by what he said when Channel TV spoke with Ambassador Megide Adams, the Nigeria's ambassador to Guinea-Bissau, he said that the attack was politically motivated, and he also gave us the version of the Guinea-Bissau's foreign minister that said that it was in reaction of Nigeria's role in ECOWAS engagement in the region that they felt Nigerian government was supporting the incumbents. So, doesn't it raise the question of Nigeria's engagement and his outpour of generosity abroad?
Well, let me say that the Committee on Foreign Relations has constantly spoken about the fact, especially in the wake of the Benghazi attacks, the attacks on Benghazi, of the American missions in Benghazi. And we have constantly said that because of the pivotal role that Nigeria plays in exporting peace, in United Nations peacekeeping, peace enforcement, that we need to come to the place where we start to look very critically at the vulnerability of our missions. We have spoken to securing these missions even more and securing the lives of Nigerians in these places. Now, it is also very important for us to realize that Nigeria must, as a country, as the leader of the region, as the leader of the sub-region, Nigeria also plays a pivotal role in world peace, regional peace. But I do not think that what happened in Guinea-Bissau was an unfortunate incident. Of course, most things are politically motivated. Most things around the world could have a political slant to them. But I think that what is more important is that as a country, as a corporate entity, as a sovereign state, how are we viewed and how do we engage our people and what is our responsibility to the rest of the world? And I must say today that Nigeria has shown a lot of responsibility to the rest of the world in terms of what it is that we are expected to give off to the rest of the world.
Now, you talk about the backlash. Is Nigeria not paying a costly price?
Well, I believe that Nigeria has a very noble foreign policy thrust with regards to exporting peace and stability around the world. Of course, there's so many countries, and I speak specifically to the Guinea-Bissau situation. Now, without taking away anything from what the foreign minister of Guinea-Bissau said, I believe that there's so many conflicting stories with regards to that particular issue. There's a group of people who said that a couple of Nigerians tried to kidnap a citizen, and of course they came up with saying it was their political opponents. Of course, and the story about Nigeria's pivotal role in world peace and enforcing peace around the world cannot be overemphasized. But let's also state very clearly that there are certain countries who have xenophobic tendencies towards everybody and especially towards Nigerians. And so yes, we're doing that, but to tie that in directly with what Nigeria does with regards to world peace would be an unfair, would be drawing an unfair chain. Look at it. Nigeria has committed 13 billion around the world, and it's $13 billion since 1960, since she gained her independence in 1960. We have sent out 250,000 people to peacekeeping missions around the world. We have presently 6,000 people with the United Nations, 4,000 of whom are in Darfur, and then this is the first isolated case in Guinea-Bissau that states that the reason that they did that was because Nigeria had come into Guinea-Bissau to try to manage the election processes. So I think that it is not a fair assessment. Let me also say that countries like India, for instance, also send out a lot of troops to the United Nations, the United States, for instance, and everywhere. And so the question now becomes, based on the fact that there's the one isolated case in Guinea-Bissau, should Nigeria now give up her role in peacekeeping around the world? I think we can't give up so much to stay minimally safer. I don't think it's a fair.
Now, looking at the huge contribution of Nigerians in terms of deployment of troops abroad and its generosity in terms of supplying of logistics to some of these conflict-ridden regions, have you been able to factor in the principle of reciprocity?
Well, I think that there's so many ways to look at it. First and foremost, an overall